my name is Nellie Elliott, and I am a curatorial and education intern here at the Ulrich. And the video that I chose to spotlight today is a talk by Margaret Wertheim, who is a scientist and writer, that she gave at the Ulrich back in 2013. And in this video, she talks about a project that she and her sister Christine, who is an artist, have been working on since the early 2000s, where they crochet coral reefs. And so it began as a relatively small-scale project, but over the years it has grown into this worldwide movement, and whole communities will get involved and collaborate and contribute to the works. So in this video, she kind of just talks about her process and the ideas behind the project and how it's evolved over the years. What I enjoyed most about watching this video was hearing her talk about all the different disciplines that it draws on, science, geometry, art, and how it has so many different meanings to different groups of people. And so this short clip will give you kind of an overview of what the project looks like, but if you're interested, I would highly recommend watching the full video on the Ulrich YouTube channel. I think you'll really enjoy it.
What the IFF is most well known for is our Crochet Coral Reef project. And as I said earlier, this is a project that Christine and I started. It was in Christmas of 2005 when we began the project. And to our surprise, it has blossomed from our living room to become a worldwide phenomenon. We didn't really imagine creating a worldwide phenomenon. In fact, when we started the project, we imagined that there might be 20 or 30 other people who were interested like us in this sort of quirky intersection of art, science, and environmentalism. But to our surprise, it has gradually sort of escalated, and now there are people all over the world doing this. We've had exhibitions of the project in many, many different places, and I'm just showing you here a few of the images of what the exhibitions look like. And as you see, it has morphed now that there in fact is not one crochet coral reef, but many different crochet coral reefs, because what we gradually found as we were doing that, like any artistic project that has a life of its own, it begins to sort of develop in its own ways. And one of the things that it has, one of its developmental aspects is that there have come to be different coloured reefs, and particularly there are two white reefs which represent the phenomena of coral bleaching. Corals, as you probably know, indicate that they're in a state of stress or illness when they go white, and I'll talk in a moment about why that happens. So here we have an image with some of the white ones at the front and the very healthy, colourful ones at the back. So I just want to give you a sense of the scale and the scope of this. And each of these individual reefs involves hundreds, if not thousands, of different pieces. To give you an idea of scale, this was our first large-scale exhibition at the Chicago Cultural Center, and that's actually a photo of we arranged them this time in a large ring-shaped formation to represent a coral atoll, and that was about 15 feet in diameter. So there were probably several thousand individual crochet pieces that go to make up that reef. The project has been through various phases, and this was part of our sort of early, what we call realist phase. So during one of our first goals was to try to produce reefs crochet reefs that actually really looked like living reefs. And gradually, as the project has evolved, we've kind of got more fantastical and surreal, so that there are all of these different reefs that have kind of different aesthetics, but one is never in any doubt that one is actually looking at something that's a representation of a reef. For those of you who've been scuba diving, there's no reef on planet Earth that's anywhere near this colourful. Reefs actually are often quite muted in colours, but these shapes, these crenellated frilly forms which you can mimic so easily in crochet, so evoke corals in our minds that it's sort of almost any colours and any kind of configurations that you do of these frilly sculptural things tends to evoke the phenomena of a reef psychologically. We've done them, as I said, all over the world, and this was the biggest one that's ever been made, which was done last year in Germany in a wonderful museum on the island of Föhr, which is a little island off the coast of Germany, between Germany and Denmark. And 700 women all over Germany and Denmark, and people as far away as Holland and Luxembourg, contributed to this installation. The other really enormous one that we've done was at the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History. And here, as you can see, we've gone very wild. One of the forces, the aesthetic forces that Christine and I are always trying to channel through this project is Cat in the Hat. We both grew up in love with Dr. Seuss, and Cat in the Hat has definitely been one of the great aesthetic forces in our artistic lives. So one of the, as the project has progressed, one of the things that's happened is it sort of mimicked the evolution of life on Earth. So the early installations were very sort of very flat and low. And just as life on Earth begins with pond scum and gradually evolves upwards towards redwoods, so too our project has been through an evolutionary project of gradually going onward and upward and bigger in scale.